Hey, you're welcome back to the BI Analyst Hub. If you are new here, my name is Augustine, and on this channel, I help you master Excel, Power BI, and SQL. In today's video, we are going to work on a real-world project, a patient visit dashboard built entirely in Microsoft Excel. We will take on the role of a data analyst for a hospital that wants to better understand its patient visit trend, from how often patient visits and overall performance over time. I'll walk you through the entire process, step by step, from cleaning and transforming the raw data using Power Query to analyzing it with pivot tables and DAX, and finally, designing a clean, interactive dashboard that management can use for decision making. By the end of this tutorial, you will not only have a professional patient visit dashboard, but also gain practical skills in data cleaning and transformation using Power Query, applying DAX formulas, data modeling, pivot tables, and data visualization. So if you are ready to take on Excel analytics skills to the next level, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on future tutorials. Alright, let us jump straight away into it and start building our patient visit dashboard in Excel. Alright, so go ahead and then download the files that we used in the tutorials. So we have all the icons, then the letter that we are going to use to, use to make the analysis, right? And then this is the Excel workbook that we are going to use. Alright, so this is what we've been able to do in the first video. This is what we did in the first video. So if you have not watched the first video, please go ahead and then watch the first video. In the first video, we made all our analysis. We did all the calculations. So if you have not watched the first video, it will be very difficult for you to, follow the second video. And then I will leave a link to the first video in the description below. So do well to check it so you can all be on the same page. All right, perfect. Now, if you also want to download the files, the data setting, and everything, you check the comment section or you check the description area. All right, perfect. So, sorry, in this section, we are going to get the total visit by the week type and then the total visit by the age group. So, management wants to know the week type that they are getting more visits, and then by which age group are they visiting the hospital the most, right? Perfect. So, in order to do that, let's come to our analysis sheet, and then first of all, as I always show you, let us rename this to KPI so that it will be very easy for us to know what we are doing when we come to our dashboard in the future. So let's give it this color and then a white color like this. Perfect. So to move on, let's also rename the pivot table. So come to pivot table analyze, and you see it is now what pivot table 3. Let's rename it to same thing, KPIs, and then you hit enter. So you always make sure you do this before you move on to the next section, right? So you copy this one. We are coming to insert another pivot table, so you don't have to go back and then insert a different pivot table. So this original pivot table, we are just going to copy and then paste it, and then we edit it to what we want, right? Perfect. So let's just paste it here, and then we can rename this. We can rename this to, sorry, you can say total sales, total visits by week type. Sorry, by week type. Perfect. Now we don't want to see the total visit, the percentage of admin, and all these metrics, right? So what we can do, we are not seeing our field list here. So right click, and then you click on show field list. So when you click on show field list, you get the field list here. So let me scroll to this part. Perfect. Now let me position this one well. All right. So this is the calculation that I'm talking about. So we wrote all these things in using DAX, right? Using DAX, data analysis expressions. So as I said, if you have not watched the first video, kindly make sure you watch the first video before we can, I mean, proceed, so we all be on the same page. Perfect. So let's remove all these things here because we are done with this analysis, and then we don't want to see sorry, we don't want to see this one again. So remove everything like this, and then we only want to see the total visit, right? So it will be left with the total visit here. Now we want to get the total visit by week type, right? And then the week type can be found here. So this is the week type. So as always, we just have to drag the week type towards the row section, and then you get the analysis here. So this is what weekday. This is the amount that we had, the total visit that we had, and then on weekends, this is the total visit that we had. So you see that most of our patients, or most of the patients visit our hospital on what weekday. So from Monday to Friday, right? Perfect. So during the analysis, you realize that, or you know the reason why people are, or the patients are visiting more on what, on weekdays, right? Perfect. So since we have our analysis, we can represent this on the chart, right? But before we represent this on the chart, just select the pivot table. And then you see this one is here is saying row labels, right? It is saying row labels. It is saying row labels because the layout is not properly, I mean, set. So select on the pivot table, select the pivot table, come to design. So on design, just come to report layout, report layout. So when you click on report layout, when you click on the drop down, just select show in tabular form. So click on that, and then you see this is what week type, and then this is what total visit. Perfect. So now we can exit this one. Whilst the pivot table is selected, we can go to insert, and then we can come to I want to insert a donor chart, right? So I'll click on the drop down here. So we have 2D pie, 3D pie, and then we have what, donor chart here. So I'll click on the donor chart, and I'll try to minimize it like this. So what I'm going to do is to format the chart, right? To format the chart. So let's right click on this one, on this total visit, and choose hide all field buttons on chart. So click on that, and then you see everything is gone. Click on the total and then hit your delete key to delete it. Now with the legends, right? The weekday and then the weekend. I don't want it to be on the right side. I want it to be under the donor chart, right? So I'll just come to format. No, sorry, be on the design. I'll come to design, and then at the chart layout, I'll click on add chart element. So when I click on the drop down, you see legend. So when you hover on legend, you see none, right, top, left, and bottom. So make sure you select the bottom, and then the legend will come here, right? Perfect. So let's minimize it like this, make it smaller like this. Perfect. Now we want to represent this on our chart, right? We want to represent this on our chart. But before that, let us get the shape that the chart is going to be on, right? Let us get the shape that the chart is going to be on. So in order to do this, let's go to insert, go to illustrations, click on shapes, and then let's select this rectangle rounded corners. So click on that. Let's draw this shape here. Now use this orange button to control the roundness of the shape, right? So I'll click on the orange button here, then make sure you drag it outside, right? Something like this to control the roundness, right? Perfect. That is that. So make sure you set it to the roundness that you like, right? So I think this is okay. So I'll position it here somewhere here. Okay, something like this. Let's switch. All right. So now let's control the size. In order to control the size, make sure the shape is selected. Go to shape format. Now you want, because we want to be on the same page, let's use the same size, right? But then your screen might be different from mine, so you can also use any size that you think it will convenient for you. All right. So the height is going to be 1.94, and then width the width is going to be 5.96. Yes, perfect. So this is what I want, right? Okay, so because it is extending here, let's see what we can do. We can minimize this, or we can make this one short like this, right? Perfect, so that they will be all be on the same page. Or we can bring this one a little bit here, sorry. All right, so we can shift this one here small, something like this, right? And then let's make the width 9.6. Perfect. So you make sure it will be something like this. So you select the two shape, this one and this one. Go to shape format, align, and then let's align it to the right. Perfect. So that they will all be on the same line here. Right. But before that, let's change the color of this one, of this shape. Right. Let's change the color of this shape. So select this shape. Go to home. Then the background color should be, I think, this one here. Right. Something light. Right. Something light. All right. So let's push all these things here. Can shift it here. Something like this. Then let's select all the sorry, all the circle. So hold your control and shift it here. Perfect. Now we can select the icons, and then also, sorry, not this. All right, and then also shift it inside like this. Perfect. Now let's make this one also come here a little bit. Sorry. And then this one will come here. So just follow what I'm doing, right? Follow it and then you'll be good to go. So I'm just aligning it all, right? I'm just aligning it all. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So I think this is okay, right? So now let's change the color. So select the shape, this shape, control one. Let's remove the line. You see, we have some black line around it, right? So just expand the line and then select no. And then expand the fill, come to color, and then choose this third color here. Right. I think this one. Oh, sorry. Third color like this. Is it the same as this one? No, it's not the same. So let's select it. I think this color. Still not the same. So let's select this one and see. So this one is what? The third one. Okay, the transparency is what? 90 degrees. So select this one and then select the third one. And then the transparency should be what? 90%. Right. Perfect. So it will be something like this in the background. All right. So now we can go and then bring our chart here. So let's make this one small. All right, so Control X to cut it, and then Control V to paste it here. So let's same thing, minimize it like this. All right, so now whilst the shape is selected, or whilst the chart is selected, Control One, this one we can bring it here, and then let's say no line, right? No line, and then no fill. So we get no line and then no fill here. Perfect. But when you check the slides or the chart, this one, we have some white, I mean, line around it. So select the chart like this, right? Not like this, but then select the slides like this. Come to the format bucket here, and then select no line, right? Select no line. Now come to this bar here, and then the donut hole size, the whole size, let's reduce it to something like I think 70, right? Let's reduce it to something like 70. Perfect. Now let's make it this size. So down here. So something like this, right? Perfect. Now, before we do anything, let's change the colors. Now we want to use consistent colors, right? We want to use consistent colors. Now, what is happening here? Let me position this one or two. All right, I think this is okay. Right, perfect. Now let's make sure we use consistent colors. So we select the blue color here. Come to the format bucket and then make sure the blue color is selected here. Click on the drop down and then use this color. Now with this color, we are going to make the transparency to be 60%. Now if you want to know the code for this color, come to more colors and then the red is what 0, the green is 48, and then blue is 73. Right, perfect. So this is what we are using. And then the orange color, select the orange color, and then we are going to use a custom color. So select it, come to more colors, and then the red, I'm going to make the red 253. Green is going to be 240, 240. Sorry. So 240. Oh, what is happening? Let's clear everything. So 240. Perfect. And then blue is going to be 213. 213. So something like this, right? Perfect. Now when you click on OK, you see this is what we are having, some faint color like this, right? Perfect. Now let's duplicate our title. Control D. Now let's bring that one here. Okay, so this one is going to be total patient visit or total visit. Let's clear the patient. Total visit by weekend. Sorry, week type. Week type. So something like this. Perfect. And then let's select this color, this small shape here. And then control D to duplicate and then let's bring it here. So we are making sure our dashboard looks professional, right? So something like this. Right, perfect. So select the chart. Let's bring it down a little bit. Perfect. And then the slides, select the slides and then come to the bar. Let's make it 60 or 65. Yes, I think 65 is okay. Now, whilst the chart is selected like this, let's click this one. Whilst the chart is selected, click on the plus button here and then check data labels. So you see the data labels here. Now we can drag the data labels outside like this. You can drag this one to outside like this. So whilst the data label is selected, whilst the data label is selected like this, come to home and then let's make it bigger like this. Perfect. So now this is what we are getting, right? This is what we are getting. Perfect. So we've been able to represent the total visits by week type as management required from us. And to move on, we are going to represent the total visits by the age group. So the patients that visit the hospital, we are going to group them into ages, right? So we've already done that with the DAX, using the DAX to do all the calculations. So now what we are coming to do is just to do the analysis and then represent them on what the dashboard. Perfect. So now before that, this two is the shape is too light. So select this one and then select this one, control one. Let's reduce the transparency to 80 so that it will show properly like this. All right, perfect. So now let's bring this one to the top a little. Perfect. This one too to the top. So the shape top. Perfect. This one too to the top. Perfect. Now we can drag this one a little bit here. Perfect. So now let's insert a chart. Sorry, uh, a, a, a line to differentiate them, right? To So something like this is okay, right? So let's bring it here. Now let's format the chart. So control one, the line, right? So control one, and let's use a gradient line. So let's use a gradient line. Now, when you come to the gradient stops, so these things are called stops, right? So click on it is now four. So let's delete one so that we'll be left with only uh three. Perfect. So this color, you're going to make it white, something like this is okay. And then select the last one, and the same color like this. Oh, sorry, this one is short. The second one. Okay, so this one too should be the second one. And then this should be our main color. So this color like this. Perfect. Now we can bring it here and then make the width, let's make it maybe yes 1.5, 1.5. So we have something like this, right? Perfect. Okay, so now let's come to our analysis. Let's exit this one. Then if you have been following my videos, you know I always have to, or I always want to bring this one to separate this from what I'm going to do next, right? Perfect. So now we are done with this. Let's copy this. Control A to select, Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste here. Perfect. So now what we are going to do, or what we are going to represent is what? The total visits by age group. By age group like this. Perfect. Now the same thing, right? Click on the pivot table and then click on show field list. Now let's scroll down to this part. Now we are done with the week type, right? We are done with the week type. So we are going to represent this by what? The age group. Now let's check if the age group is here. Now the age group is not here. So now let's check a patient visit table. And you see we have what? The age bucket, and then we have the age group. So if you are wondering how we came about with this, kindly watch the first video. We did everything extensively there. So now we want the age group, right? So just drag the age group to the rows section. Now you see we are always using rows because this is what we want our data to be. We want all the all this one, all of these to be on the row, right? But watch here, when you drag this one to the columns, you see how it is showing. We don't want it like this, so we want it like this, right? Perfect. So now everything is working perfectly. We don't have to do any changes here. So we can go ahead and then represent it on our dashboard. So we select it. Let's go to insect, hover on this, click on the drop down for the column, and then select this 2D column, right? Okay, so let's use the bar rather. Let's use the bar. So let's use 2D bar, something like this, right? Perfect. Now to format the chart, the same thing, right? Click on the button here and then choose hide all field buttons on chart. So click on that and then you see they are all gone. Let's give the chart more room, or more, yes, more room to breathe. Then let's delete the x-axis here because you are going to activate the filter, sorry, the data labels. And then let's also delete the grid lines. Perfect. Now this one doesn't look nice, right? So what we can do is we can select this one, the labels here, right? Select the labels here, control one, control one, and then on the bar here, right? On this bar, when you scroll down, you see categories in reverse order. So when you check this one, you see now we have the categories in reverse order. Or we can also click here and then sort this largest to smallest, right? Do you see that? Yes. So when you sort this, and then when you check the category in reverse order, see now we have it in reverse order, in descending order, right? Perfect. So now select the chart. Let's make it small like this. Select the inside one. Let's make it small like this. So small. So make sure you just format it as what you want, right? Perfect. Now the bar is too small, but before that, let's cut it to our dashboard. Control X, and let's paste it here so that we can edit everything on the chart like this. Perfect. So now select the bars, control one, and then now the gap width, right? The gap width, let's reduce the size. Let's reduce the gap width. So you see, whilst reducing the gap width, you see that the bars will be increasing, right? Perfect. Let's reduce it to I think 50. 50 is okay, right? Something like this. Perfect. Now select the chart. Let's position it to control one once again. So we say no fill and then no line, right? Perfect. So this is what we want. Something like this. So, okay. So something like this is okay. Right. Something like this is okay. Now let's control the color. So select the bar, and then you see the blue color is being selected here. Sorry. Click on the blue, click on color, and then select this color. Then we are going to make the transparency to be what? Sorry, 60, 60%, so that we will use consistent colors, right? Perfect. So select the chart once more. Click on the plus button here, and then select data labels. So we know all the data labels here. Right. So select it, select the charts like this. All right. So you make sure you do it nicely like this. All right. Sorry. Perfect. Now this can, sorry, this one can come here a little. Some- Perfect. Something like this, and then this one should come down part like this. Perfect. So now let's duplicate. Control, hold your control, and then duplicate this. Now let's bring it here. Perfect. Now we can see total visits by what? By the age group, right? So we know the age group that's visiting our hospital most often. So we can see that the adult, right? Adult is leading, has 7,106 visits. Then now it comes to what? The middle childhood, and then teenager, early childhood, and then infant. So now let's make sure this one will be on the same line, right? So let's click this. Let's make this one come here. Okay. So Control Z. Okay. So I think let's maintain it like this, right? So this one is also nice, right? This one is also nice. Perfect. So this is what we want to get. And then this is what we've been able to get so far. Right. Perfect. Perfect. In this section, we are going to represent the total visits by month. So we want to get the monthly trends. In what month or in which month did we get more visits, right? In which month or in what month did we get more visits? So mind you, whatever we are doing here, we are not just doing it. We are not just doing it for fun, right? But then we are following this letter from management. So when you read, if you have not read the letter, please do all to go through so you understand whatever that we are doing, right? So the letter is from the management team. So if you are working in the real world, this is some of the things that we are going to face, right? So you get a letter, or you get maybe a request from maybe management or from the marketing team or from the sales team or any department, right? So this letter is what request for development of patient visit dashboard. So when you read everything, you understand the reason why we are representing the months by the total visit by months, by week type, and then by everything that we are doing here, right? Perfect. So we are not just uh, doing the analysis based on what we feel, right? But we are doing the analysis based on what management is requiring from us, right? Perfect. Now, uh, the same thing is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to differentiate this from That's perfect. So we know that this analysis is different from what we are going to do. Perfect. So Control A, Control C to paste, copy, Control V to paste here. Perfect. So now let's get that total visits by what? By month. And then what we are going to do here is somehow tricky. So please make sure you follow the video very well. Now right click and then show field list, and then you see all the field list here. Now we don't want the age group again, but we will still want to show the total visit, right? Perfect. Now we want to show the total visit by month, so we can find the month in what? The date table here. So this is the month name. So drag the month name here. Perfect. Now we have August up to what? September. Now we want our date to be sorted from January to December, right? So something like January, February, March, April, May, June, up to December. But then our month is starting from what? April. This is not what we want. Now, when you watch the first video, we brought this month number, right? And then in the first video, I told you that I made mention of this month number. I said we are going to use this month number to sort the month, right? So if you don't have this month number here, if you want to know how you got this month's number, please visit the first video. As I said, I will leave a link to that in the description or in the comment section. So make sure you watch it before you come to this second video so that we all be on the same page, right? Perfect. So now, in order to sort the month's number, let's go to Power Pivot, right? Let's go to Power Pivot. So be on the Power Pivot. Now, if you don't have Power Pivot, you can be on Data, right? When you're on Data, you see this one. Go to Pivot window. So when you click on that one, it will send you to Pivot, right? The Power Pivot window. So it is loading. Let's wait for it to load. Perfect. So this is the Power Pivot window, right? This is the Power Pivot window. Now, what we are going to do, let's be on the date table, right? Let's be on the date table. So we have three tables here: the patient visit, date table, and then calculations. So let's be on the date table. Now, on the date table, make sure you select the month name, right? Make sure you select the month name. So whilst the month name is selected, be on the home tab, right? Be on the home tab or on the home ribbon. Come to the sort and filter section. Sort and filter. So click on the drop down under sort by column. Right, so you see sort by column here. Click on the drop down and click on what? Sort by column. Now they are asking us you sort by what column. So we are sorting the column month name by what column. So we are sorting it by what? The month number. Right. We are sorting it by the month number. And then you click on what? Okay. Perfect. Now it is sorted. Now I don't want to go back and then come here again. So let's sort the day of the week or the day name. Right. So select the day name. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But then when we insert this one, it will show us maybe Friday, Saturday. It will be mixed up, right? So I want to do everything together here at once. So select the day name. The same thing be on the home tab or on the home ribbon. Click on sort by column, and then we are sorting the day name column by what? The day number. So or we are by what? The day of week, right? So we see here the day of week is what? The number, right? The day of week is the number. So we are sorting it by what? We are sorting the day name by what? The day of week, and hit what? Okay. So everything is sorted for us now. Perfect. Now let's exit to Excel. Then you see now automatically this becomes what? From January to what? December, without us doing anything here again. You see that? Perfect. Now, per the chart that I want to insert, I have to get the total visit here once again, right? So just follow me and then you know what I'm trying to do. So come to calculations and then drag the total visit again. So we have it twice, right? We have it two times here. So the same thing. This is total visit one, total visit two. It's the same thing, right? But then per the chart that I want to insert, I have to get these two things here. Perfect. Now, in the chart, I don't want to get the data labels for all the months, right? I don't want to get the data labels for all the months. I want to get the data labels for the top month and then what the least month there. So the month that we had more visitors to the months that we have what less visitors, right? So this is from January to December. It is 12, right? So the first month will be one, and then the least month will be 12, right? So I'm representing or I'm showing the top the first month and then the second month, right? So this is the time for us to bring our formula bar. So be on the view, come to view, then make sure you check the formula bar. Now I'm going to write a function that will return the top month and then what the least month. So the function I'm going to use is what the large function. So the large function returns the kth largest value in the data set, right? So the position. Now everything that we are going to do, we are going to use the first uh, total visit here. So the array, the large function is requiring us to bring an array. So this will be the array. Then because we are going to copy it down, let's F4 to lock it, right? Perfect. And then comma. Then the K means what? The position. So we want the first position. Then this one, because we want it to be when we are copying it down, we want it to move from 1 to 12. We are not going to lock it, right? So let's close the bracket and then hit enter. Now let's drag it down here. And let's bring our comma separator. So be on the home tab and bring your comma separator and let's clear all the decimal. So this is what we want. So the highest month when you check here is what 1,024 visits. So that is what August. And then the least month when you check here, it is what 431. That's what February. Now in the future, when we set a filter or a slicer, then we change the years or we change the age group or whatever. This one too will be what changing. So don't worry, I'll demonstrate that. Now we can use this to return the top two here. That will be used for our chart. So watch here. So you can say this one is what the top two. Right. So if you don't understand, just follow me. You understand what I'm trying to do. Perfect. So now what we are going to say is that this top two, we want to represent it here. Now we can just come here and then see, okay, so this 1,024 can be found here, right? So we can just simply do equal to, then we select this one, right? But we want our dashboard to be dynamic. But when you do something like this, in the future, when we insert a slicer, now let me demonstrate. Now the least amount is what? The least visit is what? February, so equal to February, and then hit enter. Now watch here. So I'm going to insert a slicer, right? So I'm going to insert a slicer. Insert slicer. This is not part, but I just want to demonstrate something to you. Let me use maybe the period, right? Whether it is AM or PM. Perfect. Now the slicer is not connected to this one, so I can do this. Okay, okay. So select the slicer, come here, report connection, and then I don't know. This one is I don't know, but let me select everything and see something here. Okay. So now watch here. This is what I'm saying. If you do it manually, right? If you do it manually, when you check AM, now you see that the highest number is not 540, right? The highest number now is what? Uh okay. Okay, the highest number is 540, right? But 540 is not August. 540 is what? May. So instead of this number to come here, it is representing this or it is showing here, right? Because we manually reference this one here, right? We manually reference it here. So now the list number is uh okay. So this one, the list number is 212. Perfect. Now when you check PM, when you select PM, now the highest number is not 486. The highest number is what? 492, right? 492. But then instead of it to show here, it is showing here, right? Instead of it to show here, it is showing here. So this is the disadvantage, right, of you manually doing it. So that is that. So we make sure it is what dynamic. Now, I think I made some mistake here. So in order to have a smooth chart, right? Let me cancel everything and then let me extract my data from the pivot table. So it is going to be the same thing, but then to make sure I get the correct chart that I want, let me extract the data from the pivot table, right? It's the same thing. Don't panic, right? Don't panic. It's the same thing. So I'm going to select everything here. Go on the home tab, bring my comma separator, clear all the decimal places. It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. So don't be, confused here. So now I'm going to get the first and then the last month here, right? So the same large function is going to be here. So large, select this one, F4 to lock it, comma, and then select this one, close the bracket and hit enter. Perfect. So you see we are getting the same thing. We're getting the same thing. But I just extracted the data from pivot table so that I will get the chart that I want to get, right. Perfect. So now we can get the top two here. Oh, sorry. Let's name this one as what highlight because we have the top and then what the bottom, right? Perfect. Now, before I do, let me extend this one so that the formula that I'm going to write will not be this. Sorry. So I'm not doing anything special here. I just don't want the formula or the function that I'll write here to extend to this one, right? Perfect. So now, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that, so we are going to use the ifs function, right? The ifs function. Now watch here. The first logical test, right? Logical test one, we are going to see if the number here, the number in this cell is equal to the number in this cell. Now F4 to lock, we are locking this one because we are going to drag it down. Now when we are going down, we want this one to go down, but we don't want this one to come down, right? Perfect. If the number in this cell is equal to the number in this cell, comma. Now, if it is true, what do you want to do? You want Excel to return the number in this cell, right? Comma. Logical test two. If the number in this cell is equal to the number in this second cell, F4 to lock it, comma, we want Excel to return what is here, right? Now, when you close this, we are going to get NA for some of the rules, right? We're going to get NA for some of the rules. Now, watch here. Now we can bring this one back here. Sorry. Perfect. Now, watch here. Now, you see we are getting 431 and then 1024 here because the number here, right? The number here is equal to the number here, and then this number is equal to this number. That's why it's returning the same number here. But watch here, here it is saying NE because the number here is not equal to the number here, or it's not equal to the number here. So we are getting NE, and then the number here is not equal to the number here or equal to the number here. That's why it's returning NE. Now, so when we insert the NE on our chart, what is going to happen, and then I'll show you how we can correct the NA here. The NA doesn't mean we are wrong. It doesn't mean we are wrong. Right, perfect. So now let's insert the chart. Now to insert the chart, don't select everything. Right? Because this is not a pivot table. Let's first of all select this two parts, right? So we want the month name and then the total visit. For now, let's select the two parts here. Let's go to insert. We're going to insert a line. So click on the line chart and then select these two here. Now, watch here. I want to bring the highlight, right? I want to bring the highlight. So I'll go to format, sorry, the chart design, and I'll go to select data. Or you can also right click on the chart and then choose what? Select data. Now, when I go to select data, watch here. The only thing I have to do here is just click on what? Add. Now, when I click on add, watch here. It's saying series name. What do you want to add? I want to add the highlight. The name is what? Highlight. And then when I come here, the values, Make sure you clear everything here. And then I'll select the values like this, right? And then hit OK. And then hit OK again. Now, nothing happened, right? Nothing happened. So what we are going to do, let me go back. What we are going to do is let's change our chart type, right? Let's change it to change that chart type. Let's change it to let's use combo. Oh, okay. Let's use area. Okay, now before that, let's delete this one and then let's select the two. All right, let's include the second total visit. Go to insert, go to line charts, and then let's select this line. Perfect. Now you see this one is not showing, right? This one is not showing. So now we can go to chart design and then change that chart type, and then now you see we are having the combo. So select the combo. Now when you select combo, we don't want the bars like this. So the total visit, the blue one, we are going to also change it to what? A line chart like this. Do you see that? So at first it was something like this, right? But then let's change the clustered column to what? An area line chart like this. So you see we have the same line chart. So now this is what we want to get, right? This is what we want to get. Now we can bring the highlight, right? You can bring the highlight. Now watch here. Right click on the chart and then go to select data and then click on what? Add data. So the series name, the name of the data we are adding is what? Highlight. Now come to series values, clear everything, and then select this one here like this, right? And then go to okay. I think I have to bring the data labels right before I show you this. So let's bring the data labels. So check data labels. Now you see we have data labels for all these things. So select the down one and then hit delete. Now we can bring our highlight. So right click. Okay, let's see. All right, so this is what we are going to do. Let me show you how you can get rid of the NA first before you bring the highlights, right? So select the first cell here. Now the only thing that we have to do is what? Is to wrap our formula in what? An if error function. Now what the if error function does is watch here, returns value if error, if expression is an error, and then the value of the expression itself otherwise. So forget about the English, right? So what we are going to do is we are wrapping all our function here in an if error. So this function that we have written here becomes the value. So we can bring our quotation mark, sorry, our comma, and you see value if error. Now it is saying if the value is error, or if we are facing an error, or if we are getting an NA, what do we want to return? Now we can tell Excel to return what? Blank, right? So the blank is what? The double quote, and then we close it and we hit enter. So now you see we have deleted the NA, right? You have gotten rid of the NA without we deleting it manually. So when you autofill it like this, see that all the NA is gone, right? All the NA is gone. Now let's bring the highlight here. Now we can bring the highlights, right? Watch it. Okay. Okay, so select the data labels, right? Select the data labels. And let's see. Control one. Control one. Now you see we have value and then we have what? Show leader line. Now we are going to select value from cells, right? Value from cells. Then we are going to highlight this one like this, right? And then when you hit OK, we can turn off the value like this, right? Perfect. And we close it. Now we see we only have uh for we only have the data label for what we've highlighted here, right? The top and then the bottom. So you see the top and then the bottom, right? The top and then the bottom. So we can select that is August, right? So we can select. Okay, so select the data labels once more. So select the data labels once more. Control one, and then we want the data labels to be what? To be above. So label position should be what? Above. So above like this. Perfect. So now everything is set like this. So we can select this, select it again, and then bring what? A marker, right? Bring a marker. So control one again, come to the format painter, and then you see now we are on the line. So toggle to marker, this marker, and then extend the marker options. Now choose built in, and then let's choose this circle, and then make it like 9, right? And then color, the color we are going to use is this color. No, let's use a different color, right? Let's use something like a blue color like this. No, something that will show. Okay. And then the width, you're going to see no line, right? No line like this. And then select this one, the same thing, expand the marker options, select built-in, select the circle, and then let's make it 9. And then let's make the color red, something like this. And then the width, sorry, the border is what? No border. So this is what we want to get, right? Perfect. Now we can format our chart. So now because you have data labels, let's delete the number here. Let's delete the chart title. Let's delete the total, the legend, because they are showing the same thing, right? And then we can also delete the formula, the grid lines. So this is what we have. Now, I want to select this, but before that, let me minimize this, something like this. Then control, before we push it to the dashboard, let's bring the chart here. Sorry, let's turn off the formula bar like this, then show everything, hide the ribbon so we can get enough space here. Perfect. Now we can, sorry, duplicate this chart here, bring it here. Do you see that? And then we can make it bigger. Sorry. So something like this, right? Now let's be on the same page. So select, let's show, go to shape format. The height, should be 2.35. Perfect. And then the width should be 4.8. Let's see if you are going to get. Okay, so now let's come back, because we want the height to the weight to be the same as this one, right? So I think how we duplicated it, the weight should be the same like this, right? Perfect. Now we can go and then cut, Control X to cut, and then we can paste it here, right? Perfect. So we can make it bigger, bring it to the down part like this, and then we can okay, let's, so you take your time and then you format it nicely, right? Perfect. Now I want to change the colors. So select inside, not the line, right? Not the line. Don't click on the line. Select inside the blue color, control one. Let's bring this one here. Come to the format bucket here. Select this. Okay, I think we have to make it gradient fill, right? Let's make it gradient fill. Now the direction, let's, okay, preset gradient, let's choose, I think, this one. All right, this is what I want. Now this color, the stops, right? Come to the gradient stops, select the first one, make sure it is 3. Select the first one, the color should be this. Select the second one, the color should be that. And then select the middle one, the color should be our this color, right? This color. And then let's make this one, whilst on this, the middle one, let's make the transparency to be what, 60. So we get consistent colors for all the charts, right? Perfect. So now we can get this one to the transparency to be maybe 60. Right. So at this point, you make sure you take your time and then you do it nicely. Perfect. Now let's select this one. Let's, the position should be at the middle, like 50. All right. And then the transparency. It depends on what you want to do, right? It depends on what you want to do. So 60 like this. But let me change the direction so that the direction, preset gradient. Oh, sorry. So let's use the same thing. Then the transparency should be 60. So at this point, it is up to you, right? It is up to you to, take your time and then design it nicely. 60. Then this should be our normal color. And transparency should be what 60. Perfect. So I think it's not bad, right? It's not bad. So what we can do here is control. Okay, we have this. So no fill, no color. Make sure the chart itself, not this one. So you select whilst the chart is selected, you do no fill and then no color like this. Now we can change the line, right? So now select the line, not inside it. Now the line, the color should be, I think, should be this color. Perfect. So something like this, right? Something like this. Perfect. Now let's go and then duplicate the titles. Control D. Let's place it here. Perfect. Now we can see total visits by what? Sorry, by month, right? Total visit by month. So now if this one is showing too much, we can reduce the, or we can increase the transparency. Let's make it 60 and see. This is not bad, right? This is not bad. Perfect. So management wants us to represent the total visits by month, and then this is what uh, we've been able to get so far, right? So this is what we've been able to get. So this looks more professional, and then I think anybody who will be using the dashboard will, be able to make sense or be able to, get more, insights, right? More insight, be able to understand what is really happening on the dashboard. So let's make sure this one is centered, aligned properly. So something like this. Let's align the numbers. So as I said, at this point, you have to take your time and then do it nicely as you want, right? Something like this. I think this is okay. Let's bring this one individually. This one here. Perfect. This one too is okay. Perfect. So this is what we've been able to do, right? This is what we've been able to do so far. Perfect. So now we can align this one well here. This one too can come here. Perfect. So something like this. All right. So in the letter dashboard request letter from management, they want us to also represent the total visit by gender. So they want to have knowledge or idea about the gender distribution. So the total visits by males, the total visits by female, and then so on, right? So this is what we are going to do now. Now we can same thing, duplicate this shape. Then we can bring it something like this, right? Something like this here. So you make sure you have some, you will get some white space where. So to be on the same page, let's see if you can use something here. Now the height should be 2.38. Let's see if okay, perfect. So I think this is okay, right? So we can select the two, align, and then let's align it to the top. Perfect. So if we are aligning it to the top, it means we have to bring this one down a little bit. Okay. Okay, I think this is okay. Right, perfect. So now the width, let's see. Let's make it 1.9 and let's see what will happen. Okay, I think this is okay. Now we can go back and then let's bring a line here as always, right? Perfect. And then let's copy this pivot table, Control C, then we can paste it here, right? Control V. Perfect. Now let's go to this part. Then we can name it total visit by gender. Perfect. So right click and then show field list. So you see the field list here. So when we are done with the month, then we want only one total visit here. Perfect. Now when you check the patient, uh so when you check the calculations, we done we did the calculations here, right, in the first video. So what we are representing is the total visit by, first of all, the male. The field you are moving cannot be placed in that area. Okay, sorry. This is a calculation, right? So this is a calculation. So let's remove the total visit. So we already did this one, right? So male visit the percentage, the female visit the percentage, and then what, the other visit. So when you check the data, right? When you check the data, we have uh visits by male, by female, and then those who didn't want to, I mean, specify their gender, right? So that those people has been categorized into what, other, or others, right? Perfect. So now we can start designing our chart here. So now let's duplicate circle here, something like this. Duplicate, sorry, duplicate. Bring this one here, then duplicate once more, and then bring it here, right? Perfect. So this is what we want to get. Now let's select everything like this. Go to shape format, align, and then let's distribute them horizontally. Then we can also distribute them vertically. Then we can align it to the left like this. So they will all be on the same, I mean, uh, line. Perfect. Now let's bring our shape, right? Sorry, our icons. So we can go to insert, illustrations, pictures, and then from this device, then you locate where you downloaded the files to, right? You locate where you downloaded the files to. I think mine is here. Mine is here. It's here. Icons. Perfect. So we bring the male, the female, and then the others, right? So something like this. Now let's drag them here. Then we can reduce the size. So now this one, the male. Let's bring the male here. It's too small. Perfect. So something like this. So please take your time and then do it nicely. The female. Sorry. Perfect. You can drag it here. It's too small. So something like this, right? Perfect. And then the others too can come here. So perfect. So something like this, right? Perfect. So now we can, sorry, bring the, we can duplicate the labels, and then we can edit it and see percentage of mail visits, right? Perfect. So let's duplicate this. Sorry, duplicate it and place it here. And we can stretch it and then see percentage of what? Female visits, right? Perfect. And then we can duplicate this one too, and then see percentage of what? Other visits, right? Perfect. So the same thing, let's duplicate the percentage. Now it's time for us to bring our formula bar. So go to view, turn on the formula bar. Now, whilst this is selected, right? Whilst this is selected, clear everything and then hit equal to, and then reference percentage of what? Mail visit. Enter. So you duplicate, sorry, you duplicate once more, bring it here, and clear everything equal to, we are referencing, right? Female visit. And then once again, you duplicate this, bring it, bring it here, clear everything equal to, and then we reference percentage of what? Other visit, right? Perfect. So we can copy the format here. So select this one, go to the home tab or the home ribbon, click on what? The format painter. Click on the format painter. Sorry, we you have to click it twice, right? Double click it, paste it here, paste it here, and then paste it here, and then escape to, I mean, escape it from here. So now we have to position it well. Perfect. So please take your time and then design it nicely. Perfect. All right, so this is what we've gotten, right? This is what we've gotten. So we can duplicate the label, Control D, and we can bring it here. And we can see total visits by what? By gender. Let's reduce this. Perfect. So this is what we want to do, right? This is what we want to do. Now let's shift it. Perfect. So let's select the picture. Select the picture. Select the picture. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So something like this, right? Something like this. Let's turn off the formula bar. Perfect. So this is what we've been able to do. So we've been able to represent the total visit by gender. So now we have what? The gender distribution. So we have the percentage of male visits to be 51.05, percentage of female to be 48, and the percentage of what? Other visits to be what? 0.26. So they should all sum up to what? 100%. All right. So this is how far we've come. This is how far we've come. Now, our next analysis, management wants to know the total visits by the year. So they want to know the year that we are having more visits. So as this one, the month that we have more visits, this one is going to be the year, right? Perfect. So it's very, very simple. What we can do is let's duplicate the shape, right? Let's duplicate the shape and then let's minimize it. I think the height is okay, right? The height is okay. Now let's make sure we have some white space between this one and then here, right? Perfect. So let's control the width. The height should be the same as this one, but then the width, I think the width should be 3.07. Perfect. So something like this, right? So in the future, we will be inserting something here and then something here, something also here, right? Perfect. So now since we have the sheep, we can duplicate the label, right, to show that this is what total visit by year, right? Perfect. So something like this. Now we can go to analysis and then bring in the year, right? So control A, control C, let's control V here, right? Perfect. So you ask yourself, why am I not putting something here, right, under anything? So I can put this one here, right? But then, see, in the future, when your data is growing, this one, right, when the data is growing, it will grow vertically, right? It will grow vertically. So if you put something under a pivot table, in the future, when your data is growing, you are going to experience an error, right? So in your dashboard, that is why it is always advisable to make sure you don't have anything under the pivot table, right? And then you have some spaces here so that in case you want to add another thing, it will come here and then you will still have enough space, right? Perfect. So this is a very good practice. So make sure you practice it for now so that it will, I mean, stay with you. Perfect. So this one is going to be total visits by year. By year. Perfect. So this is very simple. This is very simple. Uh, so- Perfect. So what is this? All right. So now we don't want to see the percentage by the months and everything here, right? You want to get the total visit. So you come to calculations, you drag total visits by what? By year, right? So this is where we see the year. So by year. So 2019. This is the these are the patients that we had. The total visit 2020. This was the total visit that we had. So it is very simple, right? Very simple. So you see, 2019 we have 4,338, but 2020 we are having 4,872. It means that our visit increased, right? It increased. So in order to get the charts, just select the pivot table, go to insert, then select this 2D, right? This 2D. So what we are going to do is right click, hide the button. This one, let's do control one and see something. I just want to explore something here. So the minimum should be, I think, zero, right? Let's see if this one will work. Something like this, right? So if the minimum is zero, it means you are going to have uh the chart to have, I mean, the chart will be uh, the bar will be, I mean, nice here, right? So instead of we getting the bar to be this small, you see, the difference between the two is very small. But then when you come here, the difference, the chart is showing that the difference is too, I mean, wide, right? Because it is starting from what 4,000, right? Perfect. So let's select this. Then it should start from what zero. So this is very important, right? It is very important. Perfect. So now since it's starting from zero, you can select. Let's clear this. You can select it and then delete it, and delete this one too. Delete this one. Then delete the grid lines. All right. Perfect. So now we have a perfect uh, year here. So Control X to cut it. Then we can select this and paste it here. Perfect. So now let's make it small. All right. So something like this. It's not bad. Perfect. Yes. So select it. You see, we have white background here. So control one, no fill, removes the background. Then we see we have some line around it. So while selected, no line removes what the line around it. Perfect. So now let's control the color. Select it and then go to for the format bucket. The color should be this with what the 60% transparency. Right. Perfect. Now the same thing whilst the chart is selected. Now we can clear this, exit this, click on the plus and then bring what our data labels here. Right. Perfect. So now I think this is very easy, right? The year, it is very, very easy to get the year. So down. Perfect. So this is what we've been able to get. So we have the total visit by year. We know that 2019 we got this, and 2018 to what, 2020 we got what this. So this is what management requires from us. So now we are not able to, filter to see anything. But in the future or in our next, in the coming minutes, we are going to, insert a filter button here. So when you click on it, you see the filter button, and then you can filter your data to see the particular insight that you want to get, right? Perfect. So now, for now, this is what management wants to get, and then this is what you've been able, to get. So we will continue, and then populate everything here.